Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, Harrisville Arts Council kicked off the annual Harmony Weekend. Plus, the Alcona Township community gathered for the 12th annual Black River Bridge Walk. And Beaver Lake Park and All-Band Multimedia teamed up for a celebration. We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. The news that affects you starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. We are your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Neil Liwanag. Today, Harrisville kicked off their 41st annual Harmony Weekend Art Fair. Folks in the community were treated with good company, food, and various types of art. The two-day event features several musical performances and caps off with a parade tomorrow down on Main Street. Harrisville Arts Council Vice President Carolyn Merkel says that the fair brings everyone together and she looks forward to hosting it every year. Merkel adds that the vendors come from different areas of the country and that all proceeds from the fair makes for a wonderful cause.
We have about 200 vendors and they have in total about 300 booths. So we make about $30,000. We are nonprofit, so that goes to things like scholarships and to the library for their programs.
The Harmony Weekend continues tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with a scheduled parade to start at 1 p.m. Today, the Alcona Township celebrated the 12th annual Black River Bridge Walk to kick off the Labor Day weekend. Black River Bridge. It may look like a normal bridge. People drive and walk through it on a daily basis. But for the Alcona Township community, this bridge is a place where people can get together and make a difference. The 12th annual Black River Bridge is an event that raises money for Black River Park and honors local heroes. It started with a bake sale, then a walk on the bridge. Yes, even Batman, Thanos, and their friends made an appearance for this special day.
And about 3 or 4 years ago, we started dressing up, just having fun. Dressing up as superheroes or any other thing, we just bring excitement to the community. Money goes towards the dredging along with township funds, and it's really what it's all about, taking care of our community and the people can use it.
It was another successful event here at the Black River Bridge, but of course, the true heroes are the people of the community.
Being a volunteer, I guess it's all about community pride, and we live here and feel like we always got to give back, and I've been doing it for 19 years, and we love where we live. We know most of these faces here. I know all of them personally.
The day capped off with a softball game as people showed their love and pride of being a part of the Black River community. In Black River, Neil Liwanag, WBKB News. This afternoon, Beaver Lake Park hosted All-Band Multimedia's 10th year anniversary. Every month, Beaver Lake holds special events, and today was no different as they welcomed All-Band in celebration to the business turning 10. Beaver Lake manager Earl Martin says that they planned a kids' carnival as a farewell to the summer, but why not make it a bigger event by having All-Band's presence? Martin adds that it is important for the community to utilize the amazing parks, and All-Band general manager Ron Siegel agrees.
Support your local parks, because if we don't, we might lose them, and we don't want that, because it's a beautiful place. And thank all the staff of Beaver Lake Park, because if it wouldn't be for them, this wouldn't happen. We have a lot of volunteers.
So we partnered with Beaver Lake Park down here to celebrate and reach out to the community and kind of give back a little bit and remind people that that's what our mission is, and that's to embrace the community.
For more information on future events at Beaver Lake Park, visit alpenacounty.org. With the season just a couple of weeks away, the Alpena Flyers are already busy at work with another fundraiser. The Flyers held a hot dog lunch just outside of Neiman's this afternoon. The fundraiser helps all the team's travels and expenses for this upcoming hockey season. The team will be traveling to different cities in the East Coast for several away games. The Flyers appreciate all the support they've been getting from the community, and they know that these games will prove to be important as they look forward to taking the next step in their young hockey careers.
We really appreciate the support. We had a mini golf fundraiser last week. This week we're selling hot dogs, and we really appreciate the support, and hopefully we can see some fans out at the games getting rowdy.
With these showcases, it really helps with our exposure, getting noticed with the colleges and pro teams.
Tickets are now available at the Northern Lights Arena. Join the Flyers for another fundraiser on October 2nd at Sandbar and Grill. Come up next on WBKB News at 11. We'll have some good news for you Labor Day drivers. Find out why next. Welcome back. In your Money Watch, the U.S. unemployment rate hit a 7-year low. The Labor Department says the U.S. economy added 173,000 jobs in August. While that's less than expected, the unemployment rate still fell to 5.1%. The Federal Reserve will use the data from this report when it meets later this month to discuss possibly raising interest rates. Honda is recalling almost 18,000 of its 2015 Fit vehicles. The company says it needs to replace a part that could cause the engine to stall. If you're hitting the road this Labor Day weekend, you won't be alone. AAA estimates 30 million people will drive this weekend. And some good news, cheap gas. Gas prices for Labor Day are lowest they've been in 11 years. If you're heading to the pump, GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan helped us find the highest and lowest gas prices locally and across the state. The lowest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $2.25 at Meyer. The highest is $2.27 at Marathon. Across the state, the lowest price at the pump is $1.93 in Lambertville. And the highest price is coming in at $3.40 in Copper Harbor. There's still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Kyle Logan will be in with sports, and I'll be right back with your full weather forecast. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. It is now time to look at the weather. All right, today it was 83 degrees and your low was 68. Normal was 73 and your low was 50. Record high was in the 90s, and that was back in 1922. But your record low was 31 degrees back in 1963. Sunrise was at 7:01 a.m. Sunset at 8:04 p.m. Take a look at your current conditions. It's 69 degrees right now outside. Humidity, though, 96%. And your radar looks fairly clear at the moment, but that all will change as you see coming up. And tonight, areas of fog, 64 degrees, southwest winds at 5 miles per hour. And tomorrow, partly sunny, 84 degrees, southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow night, partly cloudy at 69 degrees, southwest winds at 10 miles per hour. And here's your 5-day forecast. Monday, a chance of thunderstorms. Tuesday, a little bit of showers. Wednesday, sunny. Thursday, same deal. And Friday, a chance of showers again. Monday of highs, we'll have a high of 81, a low of 70. Tuesday, high of 74, and the low of 62. And Wednesday, a high of 72, and a low 62. Thursday, 69 degrees, and a low of 52. Friday, you have a high of 66, and a low of 52 degrees. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Mike Weigel. This is a picture Mike took at the newly reconstructed Wolf Creek Park in Wilson. What a wonderful photo of the great outdoors. Thank you, Mike, for sending us this photo. If you have a photo you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to use at WBKB11.com. In your Health Watch this evening, a new study shows girls with autism behave differently than boys with the disorder. Researchers at Stanford University School of Medicine found autistic girls were less likely to have repetitive behaviors such as hand flapping and restrictive behaviors such as being inflexible with routines. Researchers in England and Italy say surgery may be the best long-term option to control type 2 diabetes in obese people. They found patients who had bariatric surgery were more likely to have their diabetes under control 5 years later than patients who received standard treatment. And new research shows an inexpensive drug, TXA, prevents excessive blood loss during surgery. Doctors in Canada used the drug on about 400 patients who had hip or knee replacement surgery. They say the medicine helped reduce transfusion rates by more than 40%. In national news, Kentucky County Clerk Kim Davis will spend the Labor Day weekend in jail for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. Today, hundreds of supporters rallied outside the jail where she is being held. Don Champion has more.
We love you, Sister Kim, if you can hear us in there. Protesters carried signs, prayed, and sang outside of the jail where Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is being held as an inmate. A federal judge sent Davis to jail Thursday for contempt of court for repeatedly defying his order to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. She believes gay marriage is a sin.
Judges don't make law, so there's nothing for them to enforce by keeping Kim Davis in jail.
Her defenders, like John Cullison, traveled from several states to show their support.
I consider her a hero of the faith, yes. She's standing up for what she believes. She knows as a Christian, she's one, upheld to uphold her oath, and two, she's responsible first to God.
David Ermold and David Moore received a marriage license Friday from one of Davis's deputy clerks.
I would just hope that she will have a change of heart and realize that she can love people and treat people equally, and that our rights do not infringe upon her beliefs.
Davis's lawyer says the clerk will spend the holiday weekend in isolation reading her Bible.
Davis's lawyer also said Davis is prepared to stay in jail. Sports has come up next, and Kyle Logan is here with a preview. Kyle?
Neil, tonight in sports, we'll tell you just who stays and who goes when it comes to the Lions' final 53-man roster. Also, it's day 2 for the PGA Tour at TPC Boston, and NASCAR is at Darlington. And Eastern Michigan opened up their season today against Old Dominion. Lastly, the Tigers in action tonight, and the team is simply looking for anything positive. Did they get it done? Come on back to find out. Sports is next. Amid all of the hype and excitement that was the beginning of the college football season, many might have missed that the Detroit Lions also hit the field recently. Thursday night, the Lions played the Bills in their final preseason game, and there were some guys that shined hoping to earn a final roster spot. The Lions did beat the Bills, but the question was who impressed the coaches enough to earn their place on the team. Today we got that answer. Not many surprises, but the decision everyone was waiting on was that of running back Zach Zinner. The undrafted rookie out of South Dakota State led the NFL in rushing this preseason and got his second score against the Bills. With a great preseason, Zinner was one of 5 running backs selected for the final 53-man roster. Other notables, wide receiver Greg Salas was cut, and tight end Joseph Foria cut after the team traded for Tim Wright earlier this week. Now the team will prepare to open their season against the Chargers on the 13th. It's certainly not been the season that many Tigers fans would have hoped for. A few weeks ago, it seemed as though the Tigers might have a shot at a wild card spot, but fast forward to present day, that almost seems impossible. Losers of 12 of their last 14, last in the AL Central, and 9.5 games back of a wild card spot, Detroit is simply looking for anything positive at this point. Team looking for a little success in front of the home crowd. The offense hot early on. Bottom 1, runners on first and second. James McCann would single to center off the mound. Nick Castellanos comes around to score, and the Tigers would go up 1. Next inning, 1 man on. J.D. Martinez blasts this pitch to right, his 35th of the season. Tigers lead 3-0. The next inning, Detroit already up 4-0. Rajay Davis triples to left center. Andrew Romine scores part of a 3-run inning for the Detroit Tigers. More than enough run support as Alfredo Simon was dominant on the mound. The big righty pitched 7 strong innings. He struck out 5 and gave up just 2 hits en route to his team's 6-0 win. This weekend, NASCAR has made their way to the famed Darlington Raceway. With the amount of races left on the Xfinity Series schedule dwindling, each race becomes more important, and with how close the standings are, one major slip-up could prove costly. Another issue for the Xfinity drivers, the Sprint Cup regulars are rested after a week off and hungry for action. Denny Hamlin took the checkered flag today at the VFW Sports Clips Help a Hero 200. Hamlin absolutely dominated the race, leading 117 laps and wound up with his 4th Xfinity Series victory at Darlington. Kyle Busch, Hamlin's teammate, came home in second. Rookie Daniel Suarez came up short in a bid for his first victory, but his top 3 finish meant a 1-2-3 finish for the boys from Joe Gibbs Racing. Another Sprint Cup regular, Kevin Harvick, came home in 4th, and Xfinity points leader Chris Buescher came home 5th. Now let's take a look at the standings. Chris Buescher remains in the top spot, but after his 5th place finish, he's opened up a little more of a lead over his competitors. We do finally have a change as Ty Dillon has passed Chase Elliott for 2nd, and the two sit 29 and 35 points back respectively. Reagan Smith remains in 4th at 54 points back, and Elliott Sadler continues to round out the top 5, but is now 91 points back. Over on the PGA Tour, the FedEx Cup playoffs are in full swing. Last week, it was Jason Day who reigned supreme at the Barclays. This week, the boys hit TPC Boston for the Deutsche Bank Championship. Second day in Massachusetts, and it was an up-and-down day for the world's top three. Rory McIlroy, the world #1 here on 8. Birdie putt that he pushes left just past the hole. He would settle for a par. Move ahead to 15. Long birdie putt. He puts solid speed on it, but it would end up a tiny bit right, and he would stay at 1 over on the day. Now move to Jason Day here on the par 5-7. Second shot from the rough. He doesn't like it, and rightfully so. It would find the bunker, but he would salvage a par on the hole. A little later on in the 11th, this one for birdie, and Day finds the bottom of the hole to move to 6 under on the day. Now as for Jordan Spieth, now #2 in the world, it was a rough day. Already 4 over here on the 9th, his first birdie opportunity, and it's a little bit fast and just left. He would par putt, but he would need a lot more than that. Struggles for the game's best, but others did succeed. Let's look at the leaderboard. Charlie Hoffman is your leader at the conclusion of day 2. He shot up the leaderboard 8 under on the day. 3 strokes behind him is Brendan DeJohn. He was 3 under on the day. Then we have 4 guys tied at 8 under. The 3 you see here, Zach Johnson, Matt Jones, and Ricky Fowler, along with Kevin Chappell. Other notables, Jason Day, as you said, winner last week at the Barclays, is 6 under. #1, Rory McIlroy, is currently 2 over, and Jordan Spieth misses his second straight cut, finishing 6 over. Third round begins tomorrow. And, of course, we wouldn't end this show without some college football. Michigan opened up their season Thursday, Michigan State on Friday, and today it was Eastern's turn to take center stage. Unfortunately, it wasn't the start the Eagles were hoping for. Quarterback Reginald Bell was 12 of 18 for 121 yards and finished with 2 touchdowns. Running back Darius Jackson 19 times for 117 yards and had 2 scores of his own. But in the end, a late touchdown from Old Dominion was just too much, and the Eastern Michigan Eagles start out their season at 0-1. So, Neil, I mean, Michigan, a rough start to their season. Michigan State fans, however, can be happy, even though after a tough game, their team was able to get a win. Central Michigan lost. But I think the excitement that football season is back is really a lot of fans are really hoping for. The Detroit Tigers, despite their win tonight, a really rough season down the stretch. So I think a lot of people are just excited for football to finally be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for football to be here. College football and NFL football coming up the next couple weeks, or days, actually.
Exactly. On Thursday, the Patriots and Steelers officially open up regular season play for the NFL. So really a lot is happening, a lot of hype and excitement. So it's really, everyone's so glad it's here.
Okay, well, thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Neil.
Coming up next on WBKB News at 11. So why did the chicken cross the road? Find out where this chicken is on the loose next. Welcome back. So why did the chicken cross the road? Well, that was the big question in the San Francisco Bay Area. Ann Makovic tells us why.
This was one of many nail-biting moments in a very exciting Wednesday morning commute. CHP officers chasing a chicken at the Bay Bridge Toll Plaza. It had been running loose for almost 4 hours when finally officers closed in.
A little bit different, for the bridge, but
for much of the morning, the hen was a hazard and at the same time, pretty hilarious and a clear carpool lane violation. Drivers did not know what to do. People couldn't help but stop their cars to snap photos for social media. In the meantime, the CHP tweeted that drivers should let them figure out why the chickens crossed the road. It's not worth getting hit. And each person who did get out to try to catch that chicken soon found out how tough it really was.
I said, let him run around. He all right. He know how to dodge cars. He's been dodging cars all morning for hours and hours.
As this wild goose chase continued, traffic backed up for miles on the Oakland side of the bridge. But finally, with enough officers in place, the chicken was cornered. And that free-range chicken was free no more. People who saw her taken into custody were thankful for the happy ending.
Glad, he's still alive. It's appreciate, lucky rooster.
The chicken, as you can see here in the back of the CHP Cruiser, is none the worse for the wear after her harrowing morning. She is now headed to Berkeley Animal Care Services. At the Bay Bridge, Ann Makovic, KPIX 5.
2, 1.
I can only laugh because, coming from the Bay Area, it only happens in the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, no, sure. I mean, unless you're out in the country, I think, that's really the only place that you would see a chicken trying to actually cross the road, and for it to actually prevent, traffic from moving ahead. That's something that, you only see in like TV shows or movies or something. But I think as those cops can attest to, as we've seen in a movie like Rocky, it's pretty hard to catch a chicken. So once it's in the road, you kind of just have to let it do its own thing.
You know what I like about it is the people actually stopped and tried to save the chicken, try to get away. They didn't try to run them over or anything. So it's good. That was a good thing.
Luckily, I think in most societies, you try and at least save the animal from getting out of the road. And I think a lot of people have shown that kind of care for a lot of animals. I think that's really good to see. And remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
Well, that'll do it for tonight's show. Catch us tomorrow night at 11. Good night, everybody.